Anyway, so any of you folks that I might throw this on YouTube, this video, the subject of the day will be how the rib cage is your control panel. So as I come down the straightaway here, you can see my feet are pushing forward. If my feet come off, she should stop without the reins. Okay? And if I wanted to put the hips in a little bit, how the outside foot went just a little bit back on my control panel in the middle of the ribs, and then like right there the horse fell in, so my inside foot would be just a little bit ahead on the control panel to say lift that shoulder up. So yeah, we'll talk about the rib cage and how important it is in horsemanship. Right now, I'm going to take a hold with both feet. Try and just hold the reins and push her into the bridle. The other thing you have to understand about my riding is I also have what I call a concentrated rein. Like here is concentrated, or you might call it refinement reins, because I have a hold of my horse and I'm expecting something very athletic. And then when I get what I want, I'm back down to what I call a neutral rein. And I just expect them to follow my focus when I'm on a neutral rein. If you hold your horse all the time like this, you're not going to get to use that control panel. And you'll get to use it very little. So then when you need it in big situations, when you start competing, you haven't trained on your horse enough because you've rode it around holding on both reins all of the time, and you won't let your horse make mistakes, and you won't let him get out of balance, and you get to put him back in balance if you'll ride on a loose rein and then follow your focus. See there, she falls in a little bit, and I get to support the hindquarters with my outside leg and push on the inside corners, just a little ahead on the control panel to stand that shoulder up. Riding on a neutral rein, my thought process is focus, body, legs, reins. Let me repeat that. Focus, body, then the reins. So I focused, then my body got in the position, and then I refined it with my reins. Okay? Rib cage is your control panel. All right, so now I'm just gonna canter a circle here. Again, right off the bat, I'm on pretty much loose rein, and I'm looking for her to fall out of balance, and then I can help her get back into balance. Just like that. It's helped her a little bit, and then back to a neutral rein. Notice that my core Or let's say to begin with that my focus is up, my chin's up, my shoulders are up, my chest is up, and then my core is really strong, pushing through my core, through my legs, down through my calf muscles, and asking this horse to go forward. I'm going to take a hold of her, see if she can lift up and move her hindquarters in, which I thought there was a little bit there. It was good. She kind of drops her head right there, kind of pulls on my reins. Which this mare's got about 6 weeks in her second year of training after the colt start. So now I'm starting to refine stuff quite a bit, use 2 reins quite a bit more. Do a little counter here. Nice. I'll do a little circle here, just a direct rein, pulling on my outside rein. It's like I'm going around a barrel. Then let her out. See if I can get around this first barrel here. Keep her in gear. Nice. We'll just let her stop there. I'm going to work on the corner of her mouth right here because here's another subject we'll talk about today a little bit. You're going to find things on your horse that aren't the same feeling as your last horse. And what I'm trying to say is they're going to find spots where they're a little bit harder. They're harder on this rib cage or harder in that corner of the mouth. And you got to mark them down in your brain without creating a kerfuffle and soften that stuff up without creating a kerfuffle. Not getting too forceful, getting a percent a day, and getting that stuff worked on. So this mare, right when I cross over here to switch leads to go to this barrel, and you'll see it later, she's going to raise her head up, get hard on this corner of her mouth, and my old Joe, you would kind of get after him, and then you get him upset in the mind, and now you have a big project ahead of you because you've told them there's a problem there. And just the way horses are, once you tell them that there's a problem there, rather than get better, they tend to get worse. You pick on it, and they don't really want to work with you because you don't have a go-to to work on that kind of stuff and soften it up. And I've noticed this mare here in the last 3 rides, when I cross over here, this is starting to become a little bit of a habit and a problem. So I'm just gonna, I don't care if it takes all summer, mark it down, make sure I take my time here, get her shoulder over, try and get a little bit of give back in her jaw to me so I can make a nice transition into the other lead, and then that barrel will be smoother. As kind of the whole key to the conversation, what I'm talking about right now is being she gets a little hard here, then when I get her over there to that barrel, she's a little bit, I can't get her round because she's kind of fighting me. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll just start working on that here. And every little thing that I do leading up to here, I'll work on that left side and get it softer for when I get here, that it's manageable, not unmanageable kerfuffle. Okay, so and again, I talk about sitting here. Um, I've done a lot of talking as I'm sitting, but maybe the next time I won't talk and I'll just edit the sitting out. But sitting here is huge in horsemanship, letting them dwell and get relaxation on the maneuver that you were doing. And usually that's when I'm stopping, is because I've done kind of a maneuver that's a little bit difficult. And when I get what I want, definitely sit and have your chew of Copenhagen or your Coca-Cola, whatever, and let them get their air. All right, so leading up to the barrels, I trotted the rail. I used the rail. Um, I didn't talk about it on this video because my people didn't work there a minute ago and I had to retape. But I talked about on that other video how I have my go-to things that have to be on my horses in order for me to have a nice horse. And that go-to right there is the one that I remember I sold a horse a while ago to Lake Mahalik. Horse named Big Brown, Monday's Buddy. You can Google him. She made it all the way to the finals at the AT&T Stadium, the American. And she had come to me after a year of owning the horse, and she was having trouble getting it in the arena. And I said, okay. So then right away I was like, okay, how do we get this horse quiet? I said, that horse can run and it can do, good in the arena. So don't worry about, smooching and getting it all hyped up before you come in. Not that she was, but I said, I'm going to show you how to keep this horse quiet. And I said, okay, so when you get in the holding pen and, they put 3 or 4 of you girls in the holding pen before they call your name, I said, pull that horse's head around and fasten it, on the back of your saddle. And I want it on the back of the saddle. That way she knows that she's tied to a fence post here. And this leg gets this rib soft, control panel here that we talked about. And that horse comes around there and gets some softness. And I said, so when they're, fixing to call your name, I said, do that exercise. Don't just stand there in the middle of the holding pen as their horse is vibrating. You hear their heart coming, feel their heart coming through your legs. And then you get them up tight on the bridle. You teach them how to lean on the bridle. And the whole deal is you want to teach them how, under pressure, to get off the bridle. Just like when you're running into that first barrel, you want to know how you can pull on 2 reins and get them set to be in the right form to function around that barrel. So my whole training program is, how can I teach this horse when I pull on reins to be soft under pressure? So that was, like I said, when that girl was having trouble, Lake, with that horse, I taught her that maneuver. And then the other thing was, because we did the first exercise, which was stick to the rail. So them horses, I do lots of exercises like that. It's a barrier for them to kind of feel comfortable against something. And that's your next thing. I said, okay, so now that horse would go left. I said, when they call your name, just get on the rail, follow the rail around, and then head to your barrel, rather than stand in the middle of the holding pen and they kind of get lost, flip their ass around, joggle around, and never get going in the right direction. Follow the rail. My horses know how to follow the rail. And she was off to the races. Them 2 things right there after that. All right. I went to the right. Let's go to the left. Follow the rail. Get a hold right here, push her into the bridle. Again, theme of the day is the control panel, which is down where my ankles are. My foot goes back to here. I'm asking for that hip to go in right here when I start this corner. This inside foot is definitely telling this shoulder to stand up and let me bend that head around this foot. And again, control panel. And with this horse today, I'm going to pull on this inside rein quite a bit, just like this, and keep her going straight, because I'm going to need it going around that second barrel, and that's where she's been trying to fight me a little bit. So take a hold of both reins in this corner, push with both feet, knock her off that bridle. She's trying to be stiff. And I'm really using my posture here, practicing driving her up into that bridle. Take a hold of two reins. First of all, push with them feet. Spurs are kind of bumping her. Now again, I'm holding the hip in the circle, and the inside leg is bumping that shoulder and asking that shoulder to stand up. Okay. And back to a neutral rein. Not sure if I talked about it, but a big thing with my horsemanship is there's what I call a neutral rein or a freestyle rein, and then a concentrated rein. Concentrated reins are for refinement. You're wanting to talk to your horse about doing something refined, and then back to a neutral rein. So the key to horsemanship is that when you're doing these exercises, that you're looking somewhere, which is your focus. So it's focus, body, legs, then reins. I'm going to look into this circle, which puts my body in the right position, then my legs, then my reins. If you hold onto your horses all the time, you never get to train on these body parts. And you're going to need to move a body part in under pressure in whatever competitive event that you decide to take on. In the pressure of the moment, you're going to need to take a hold of stuff and move it around. My shoulders and hips on these horses have been moved around thousands and thousands of times during my training of my exercises, because I ride them on a loose rein, and then I push them into a concentrated rein, just like that, and I ask for a maneuver. Okay? That being said, we're going to pick it up a notch down here. We're going to use the back side of the arena, and we'll canter around. So here I'm going to do a lead departure. It's a concentrated rein, hip in, soften the mouth, just like that. Loose rein, let her make the mistakes. Move her over. Kind of on my hands right there. On my hands right there. Get my shoulders back. Really get my abdominals working. All right, I'm gonna do a little thing here that I haven't done a lot. Speed control. Ease. There we go. Pretty nice. I'm just starting to teach you that. We'll do a little counter here. So I feel her hip going to the left is a little bit stiff. Not bad. Do a little circle here. It's like we're going around a barrel. Over here. And I need that same circle going around that barrel over there. Kind of like there's a corner up here. Let's just circle around here. See if we can do the second barrel and the third barrel. Take a hold, shake her off the bridle. Take a hold, shape her up. Kind of prelim there. Ooh. All right, so it's kind of what we were working on there was, again, you can see she just wanted to get a little strong in the corner of the mouth there, a little droppy in the shoulder. Percent a day it was better. It's better than it's been. I'm going to let her have some air, and then I will edit this out while she's airing up, but I will canter these barrels 2 or 3 times, make her switch leads in over there, drop to a trot, switch leads when we come back. All right, so here we go. I'm going to canter this pattern, try and get the right form so she can function around there. I keep them pretty much on the path that I would want them in competition when I'm training. Unless they get a little bit tight, I might have to open it up a bit, but there we go. Easy. Nice. Nice. Easy. Easy. Ooh. One more time. That's pretty good. That was better than she's been. Definitely let her have a little air. And again, I will edit this airing up thing, but I'm a stickler on letting them get some air. All right, round 2. A little softness before I get my lead here. Just kind of being a little ornery with me there. Get her backed off that bridle. There we go. Easy. Nice. Trying. Just pick them feet up a little bit. There we go. Easy. Here we go. Ooh. Ooh.